friends, best friends from Chennai in Tamil Nadu. We are glad to be gathering today for the opening of the India-Africa Trade Council's office in for Tamil Nadu and other parts of South India. Today we have the pleasure of having Madam Ambassador, Her Excellency from Ethiopia. Thank you, Madam, for your valuable time in joining us today. The roundtable will be starting subsequent to this, and you will be getting more data and more inputs from Madam regarding Ethiopia-India relations. Our Additional Secretary also will be joining us in some time. So the release has been given to you, and we will be glad to give you any kind of clarifications and questions that you might have. So this region of Tamil Nadu and in South India, we are very far from Delhi, and an extension of all the trade and commerce development for various cities of South India is being initiated by the office here, and we are hoping and looking for a lot of cooperation from our Ministry of External Affairs and also from the various embassies, and Madam Excellency from Ethiopian Embassy is giving us all the support for developing these trade relations and other social cultural aspects of building and strengthening these bilateral relationships. So I would leave the floor to you to ask any questions that you might have. In the press conference, we are also joined by Mr. Chris Paul, who is spent 20 years in Africa and is the Vice Chairman of the India-Africa Trade Council. And he is also going to be a very rich resource on understanding Indian and African trade relations. He is here, and we finally have our host in Tamil Nadu, Mr. Ramakrishnan, who is going to be an appointed director today of the India Trade Council office, the Africa Trade Council, specifically addressing the COMESA region, because Africa is a very big continent, a very big region, and we have divided into different zones, and so we have got the COMESA director, and he is going to be taking a lot of initiatives in building these multilateral relationships with different countries. And today our focus country is Ethiopia, and it's a very important country for us, for India. Therefore, we're going to be looking forward for all the support and for all the encouragement from Madam Excellency. I thank you very much, and I can allow you to take it forward. Mr. Mohit, maybe you can take it forward.
Good morning to all of you. I basically run a company called Corporate Clinic and also BRK Academy. Corporate Clinic is basically into a consulting services, to niche consulting, basically merger acquisitions, fund syndication, private equity, etc. As part of that portfolio, we also handle corporates, which means that across industries we serve. That is one of the reasons why I was invited for the webinar which took place in November 30th. I was asked to make a presentation on COMESA, of Indian COMESA relationship. So I did the presentation, where I found that most of the African countries, between Africa and India, we have a lot of things in common. For example, the forest reserves as also the agri reserves, quite huge, which is not being tapped properly. That's what I feel. So that needs to be the focus for the first to start a relationship. Now, COVID, I think, is one of the key things that is happening in the world. In India, basically, we found that COVID did not affect people who have a good immunity levels, and those people who had a clean life, they are not affected. Disciplined food, they are not been affected. So most of the food what we take, particularly in South Indians, like our turmeric, garlic, all these are blended or added to the as a spice to these foods. So therefore, the immunity level has gone up very well. So therefore, most of this was not affected by the COVID. So that's one. The second, so which means agro-pharmaceuticals and naturalisticals will be one of the focus areas in the relationship which I'm going to take it forward. And particularly from Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry and Kerala, I think all of us agree that we have focus on agro reserves. So, for example, I can tell you a few products which you are trying to introduce. For example, for the eye, vitamin A is a key component. It's a product called beta-carotene. Beta-carotene is chemically manufactured worldwide, but the same beta-carotene is available in blue green algae, which can be developed in lands in Kerala and Tamil Nadu. So these are very good substitutes for chemical products. So like this with African countries, particularly Comasian countries, we can definitely have a long way to go. And I am sure with the size of these two continents, subcontinent and the continent, I think we will take a very good space in the global map shortly. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Boyd. Members of the press, excuse me. The first thing you will recognize is that my skin is not either here nor there. But I can tell you that I have been living in Africa and African countries for 30 years before I made my home in India. And as it so happened, my first 2 years living in India were in Chennai. What it allows me to have is, having worked in around about 37 countries across the African continent out of the 55 countries we have, is a good understanding of how things work or how they not work, what can be done and what should be done. It is also my opinion that whatever work is done between India and any African state is that the partners are to be of equal standing, that there is not one junior partner in it. The pluses are, of course, that both the countries of Africa invariably all are developing countries, and so is India developing countries. So it is not a sort of top-down kind of attitude, I think, that will be approached. That we have COMESA here joining us with an office in Chennai is significant, because the entrance to South India by sea is Chennai. And I look forward to be part of this incredible journey that is about to be undertaken more vigorously than ever before, for bringing the African continent and the mystic India together. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon to you all. First of all, I would like to say thank you very much for Mr. Dr. Asif for organizing this special event, and also for the India-Africa Trade Council and the India Economic Trade Organization. As it has been said, India and Africa have had a long years relationship, and the relationship can be seen from both political, economic, and technical, and also diplomatic collaboration. And there are so many Indian who are living in different places in Africa, and among all the trade relation between India and Africa is increasing from time to time. And when we come specifically to Ethiopia, Ethiopia has started its relation with India in the 1st century, where the Indian trader used to go to Ethiopia to sell their silks and spices, whereas they used to buy golds and different kind of precious material from Ethiopia. So this long years relationship has grown into a better diplomatic level, and Ethiopia is the first African country that has started established its embassy in India in 1948, just 1 year after the independence of India. This really shows the historic relationship between India and Ethiopia. So I believe, even if there are currently more than 600 Indian companies that are operating in Ethiopia, working in different kind of sectors, but I believe the formation of this Indian Trade Council would really help to boost the already existing good relationship between many different countries and India and also with Ethiopia. So I again want to congratulate Dr. Asif for his initiation, and also I want to acknowledge the fact that the formation of such kind of trade council would be an eye-opener and also a gateway to just go and look for what is really going on in Ethiopia, because in Ethiopia and also in Africa, because Ethiopia, India and Africa really share a lot of commonalities. There are many things. You can call it in culture, you can call it in different kind of sentiments, relation, and also even the fight against colonialism and whatever kind of thing. So taking all this into consideration, the formation of such kind of trade council would really help to strengthen the relationship between Africa and India, and also specifically when we come to Ethiopia, since we still have a very strong relation with India, we want to use this initiative as a means to go into the second level, and thank you so much.
Ambassador Thisita Mulugeta, the ambassador of Ethiopia to India, and my good friend from Delhi, Shri Asif Iqbal, Shri Krishna Kumar, and other office bearers of the India-Africa Trade Council. It's a great pleasure to be here for this important roundtable, which I'm grateful that the IATC has organized on emerging India-Africa trade relations. There's no doubt about it that South India and the manufacturing here, the services, they provide an important component of India's exports to Africa, and in particular to East and Southern Africa. We have a special focus on this area today. And equally, one of the important things that link India with Ethiopia are our students. A large number of Ethiopian students come and study here in India. Of course, they study all over the country, but since so many good institutions are located in South India, so there too, this is an important and timely visit. So I'm sorry I joined you late, so I'm not perfectly sure what was the discussion about.
They had some questions about I think somebody had a question from about the vaccine, what's happening on the vaccine front. So we said no matter what.
As a matter of fact, our External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, met all the ambassadors of East and Southern Africa just 2 days ago, and we have discussed India's vaccine diplomacy. We have discussed this matter, and we've explained to our good friends, our African friends, on exactly what to do. India will, of course, stand by Africa in this the issue of vaccines, as it has in every other matter, and the modality of ensuring access of Africa to our vaccines has been discussed. So our African friends are familiar with it. Our intention with our African partners too is to have the staggering in the same way that we are having it in our own country. That is to say that health workers and municipal workers and frontline workers should be given this vaccine first, and so accordingly we have requested all our partner countries to work out for themselves the quantum of vaccines that they will need right in the beginning, and to communicate it to us, and so that we can clear their export. As you may be aware, the Government of India currently requires to allow or certify the export of the vaccines, and Dr. Jaishankar has explained the two different vaccines that are available, the different modes of keeping them. One needs more refrigeration, one needs less. He also explained that 4 other vaccines are under process and should be ready quite soon, by late March, early April. So we have suggested to our African friends the staggered manner in which they could figure out their own requirements, communicate them to us, and we will ensure that those requirements are met. While I'm looking forward to the whole roundtable, I've seen with interest the people who will be speaking and the areas on which they'll be speaking. I'm waiting to hear the COMESA as one of the 8 regional economic commissions of Africa is an important entity, and there are other economic commissions with which too we have ongoing close relations. So with that, I think I will just say that it's a pleasure to be here. I'm very happy that Her Excellency Ambassador Tisita could also make it here. I commend Shri Asif Ji for this initiative, and I look forward to going away a bit more enriched, finding out about the Indian exporters from southern India, their issues, what we can do to make this this aspect of our relationship, the trade aspect of our relationship, more important and more dynamic. So thank you very much.